Okay, boys and girls, we've got another story to focus on this week. This time, our story is called Stanley's Stick. Shall we find out what adventures Stanley gets up to? Make sure you're sitting comfortably then, and your listening ears are open, and I'll start the story. Stanley stands on Stockport Station with his stick. Stanley always carries his stick with him. Can you find Stanley? There he is, look. Stanley's stick was once part of something tall and grand, and it will never return. But it can still be a stick as best as it can. Stanley has a lot of stick activity, like pretending the stick is a whistle or a banana that is quite straight. You don't have to be great to be great. Like pretending the stick is a match to catch the world aflame. There is game after sticky game. Look, it's a dinosaur that isn't extinct. It's a stickosaurus. Can you see the dinosaur? Stanley has tried out some names for his stick, like Starry and Moon, but those names were all the wrong shape. For a while he liked Stirry, but that is better for a spoon. Stanley's stick is good for writing in the sand in languages only Stanley can understand. And 4 times now he has used his stick to pick up slugs from pathway, platform and pavement, thus saving them from a fate worse than feet. Stanley's friend Bertie has some string, and sometimes they tie the string to the stick's end and pretend to go fishing. Because the fisher pretend, no fish get hurt, says Bertie. So here is Stanley standing on the station, taking his stick for a short stay at the side of the sea with his mum and dad. The train pulls in. Down at the sea, Stanley goes down to the side of the tide. His folks take stock of Stanley standing in the sand, stick in hand. What's he doing? Maybe the boy thinks it's time for the stick to be taken for someone else to enjoy. What do you think he's going to do, boys and girls? Oh no! Stanley hurls his stick into the wide tide. Gosh, what a tiny splosh for something that has been so big in Stanley's days. Oh, I wonder why Stanley did that. The sea picks up the stick and tucks it into itself. Stanley is stickless. Oh, boys and girls, I bet he feels really, really sad. The next morning, back at their spot on the beach, the tide is out. Stanley treads towards the spreading sea. Boats ride seaback out on the distance. Stanley decides to look for interesting sticks. For other sticks which have been carried twiggy back upon the turning tide. Oh, so he's missing his stick that much. He wants to find another one. Soon he stumbles upon a stick alone upon the shore. It is quite different from the stick he had before. It is wonky. The stick is an unusual saxophone. Stanley thinks of home and begins to blurt a tune for Bertie. So he's missing Bertie now as well. Oh, what's he doing by here? Now Stanley stares at the sea through his stick telescope. It is wonky. And this stick Stanley knows the name of. It is called... What do we think it's going to be called? Fantastic. Can you see his stick? It's the sail of his boat, isn't it? Can you think of an adventure you've had with a stick?